Hi everyone, what I'm going to do today is to make snowflakes out of toilet paper holders, and this is how it looks like after you're done with it. First we start with a toilet paper holder like this one, and this has already been stripped of the toilet paper, so you save the cardboard holder with it, and then you press it lightly so that you'll have a flatter surface. And after you do that, you will need to measure about an inch from the bottom. In that way you will have strips of 1-inch rings, and I mark those when I reach 1 inch. In this case there's 3 areas here, and then I'm going to cut each individual unit here. After you cut it, it is going to look like this. So for example, when you cut it, you're just going to go by strips, and what I do is just go through it one at a time, and then you will end up with one petal of that snowflake. So you'll need about 5 of these to start with. And what you do when you get 5, it should look like this. And so you place that like that, and I need one more over here, so I will go ahead and cut another one, and I would have about 5 petals. Now you can paint this white or red or any color of your choice. Sometimes people prefer to have a floral type of look to the snowflake, so when you do that you might want to select another color, and these will be glued together, and I just use regular Elmer's school glue for this because it is made out of cardboard. When you are done, what it would look like are rings, and here's a good example. When I glue it together to anchor it in place, to let it dry in place, I use paper clips here to hold these together. I normally leave it alone for about 24 hours. I just use a regular paper clip for this. And once the glue has set for 24 hours, what it would look like are these florets or snowflake formations. Now with this, what I do is sometimes cut thinner slices of the petals, like 1/2 inch, but I prefer the 1 inch thick. It's easier to work with. So after this, again, it will look like this, and you'll have the paper clips in place. When you remove it, when it's dried, it would have the permanent shape to it. After you have this glued in and it has set, then it's time for you to paint it. Before you paint your snowflake, I would suggest you pinch it slightly right here, and then you take your scissors and just cut a little bit crosswise in opposite directions. In that way what you'll get is a tiny little hole in here, and later on what you can do is put a wire hanger through it later on. And what you do is you just take a regular Christmas ornament hanger and push it through. This after you paint. I normally will do that after I paint. Okay. For painting, I just use a regular paint, and this one is just a white house paint left over of my husband's painting project. So I'm just going to use this one, and what I do here is use just this sponge that this has been used but rinsed properly, and I use this one, and for really tight places I use a brush. So I'm going to start doing that right now, and what I do is basically wet my paint here. I'm just going to dip it very lightly. And then what I will do is start at the inside first and then paint that around. I go around the edges until I do the whole inside surface of my snowflake. And then I flip it around and then I paint the surfaces that I missed. And for very tight areas that the sponge might not get in, what I will do is use a brush with it, and that way I can reach those crevices that is hard to get by the sponge. I will let this dry for about maybe 3 hours, and sometimes less depending on the humidity. And then what I would do is redo it again until I get the opaqueness that I need to have in my snowflake. This snowflake has been coated or painted 2 times. And here's the hole that the snowflake will be hanging in. I push the hanger right through here. This is a regular Christmas ornament hanger. I leave a little tail, and as you can see here, I just kind of scrunch it so it catches. And then just put that back to shape, and then this is ready to hang in the Christmas tree.